When you're thinking about your dining room space, you're thinking about spaces that are put together for the family to come and eat, relax. And sometimes people also use their dining space for working. But you definitely want to make sure that you're setting your dining space up to fit as many people as possible, as well as making people feel as if they're in a space that allows for them to feel comfortable to talk to one another, because we know that people are not using their dining spaces as often, but just making it as comfortable as possible is something that'll help your experience when it comes to your dining table. And another space let's talk about is the living room, where people are actually living. So you want to make sure that your space comes together where you have enough seating for everyone inside of the space. You have additional seating if necessary. So these cushions that we have here are really, really great tools for when people come over and they actually want to sit maybe even at this table here. Um, we allow for them to use these cushions here. We have nice warm open space as people come in, and the lighting there and everything. We also have this additional couch. So this is actually the second part of the sectional, but we've kind of broken it up to where it's just two separate seating sections. And of course, we have table trays where you can allow for people to eat and drink on table trays. We have additional cushions here also for people to sit, and all of this kind of ties together with the dining room that we had shown you earlier. And then we have seating over here in case people want to just have small conversation. And of course, inside of the living room we have the illustrious fireplace, in addition to the super big screen TV. So of course, big screen TVs are super big these days, along with all of the other tools that we have here. But just making sure again that you have nice pictures on the wall that kind of bring everything together. If you want to have some curtains on the windows, making sure that you have proper rods and things like that, but just making sure that everything in the room kind of fits together. And again, it'll be a space where you're actually living. So good luck on your living room, and we hope to see you in ours. Peace out.
We're going to go into the door, and as you go in, we see that there's the bed, so there's good eyesight from the door coming in. Nice colors, vibrant colors, fun colors, good spacing. When you think about how you like to feel when you come into your bedroom, you want to make sure it's not too cluttery. So we have the dresser here over to the right. The dresser is over to the right of coming in the doorway. Just enough space for some of your whatnots. Sometimes it's good to put your things inside of something so you don't have a whole lot of things out where it looks cluttered, but organized to where you can know where it is and be able to have easy access to it. Whether that's your jewelry, your mask these days, anything that's small that you would like to get to, even some of your books. And so here we have the typical bedroom set with the nightstands on the side. So his and hers, unless you're single, then it's just yours. And so just having a lamp, something light. Whether you do the plant here, we see we have some greenery there and books to read. A lot of people like to definitely get a good read in at night when they're trying to relax. And so one of the things that I want you to take notice of is that this is the doorway, and outside the door is a hallway, which makes this wall here a very heavy traffic wall with the stairwell. One of the things you want to prevent is having your head of your bed on the wall of an area that is a lot of traffic, just simply because of the energy. When you think about the feng shui of the room, It's really good to be able to have your bed where it's not a lot of traffic. It gives you an easier rest. Same thing, you don't want your bed necessarily being at the window. So you get a lot of energy that goes out, but then you get energy that comes in. And so that's one of the things that you really, really, really want to be careful of. So here, as far as the bedding, I know, sometimes we like to have some fluffiness. Some people might like pillows, maybe not for some others. But when you select your pillows, you can do more or do less. Here we see where we have some pops of color with hot pinks and turquoise. Very nice and fun with some flowers and a nice print with the peacock. And so with that, we have gentle touches of colors here and there that allows for you to just kind of see a little bit of cohesiveness going on around the room. One of the other things I want you to take notice of as well is the door to the bathroom. So you want to make sure too that your bed is not in the same eyesight of the bathroom, and just being able to have access there. Now, one of the things I want you to notice is that there was no TV in the room. It's really not recommended to have a TV in the bedroom. So if you have an area where you can have like a seating room in the bedroom or outside, close by, then that's probably better. So that when you come to your bedroom, you actually have some resting time or quality time with your mate, or, just some me time. Sometimes me time is important. So that's it for us. These are just some little fine tips of the bedroom. Things that you can do to make your home more relaxing, essential living for yourself. I hope you enjoyed.
And now onto the luxurious bath. Something important to note is that when you're having a bathroom, you want to make sure that it's as luxurious as possible. So you want to have all of your accessories on the outside, including your towel, your shoes, and you want to have plants on the outside, whether they're real or faux. Candles are essential. And in addition to your candles, you want to have your body scrubs, your foaming bath, and then just make sure that everything that you need is here for your essentials. And just having a sanctuary place to rest and relax is essential for recharging, not just on a daily basis, but a weekly basis. So give yourself something to think about and to look forward to every week.
Here we are in an office in a home. This is actually a bedroom that has been changed out to an office space. And as you can see here, we have like a little seating area for when you have guests come into your office. And as we go around, mirrors are always a good thing to kind of open up the air, open up the room space. And we have a desk. And here with this desk, it's not very big, just enough space for you to do a few things. A desk and a chair is a must. Your computer, a lot of times you might be on the move, whether you have your iPad or your desktop, not your desktop, but your iPad or your laptop, using one of those things. And so that would be good to have on the go. So, as you see here, containers are always something good to have. You can house a lot of things in there, your filing system, books, anything that you need of importance that has to go with your office. But you do need to know what's in it. There are creative ways that you can use for labeling. Over here on the wall, we have some files and shelving that actually fits on the wall. We have it actually on both sides. So you can create your filing system for your immediate things where you can just grab them real quick while you're at your desk, or you can have things where you actually put them away and you have to just kind of go and get them when you need them. Down here, what we see is books, different things that you might need that will just be readily available. I want you guys to kind of like just take notice of the colors here. We're using a rose color, a little bit of pink, some turquoise, just kind of throughout, but they're very light. It's very light and airy in here. So we put a lot of white. The walls are white, including a lot of space. And adding a little greenery is good. Put some live plants in there. Now in this office here, this office space, we actually have a closet. You can utilize your closet space for part of your office, and or you don't have to have your closet for office space at all. It may be just holding your clothes. In this here closet, this is being used. It's good to have that space to be able to go up. So you've got shelving. In here, we have a few clothes hanging from Queen's Creations last collection. These are the sample pieces. So it's really good for this office. Yes, this is actually my personal office space. And so I love to do things like have inspirational quotes, you know, giving thanks. Being able to see that sign, you know, having such certain subtle reminders is really good. So speaking of being able to see certain things on a day-to-day basis, one of the things that's really good in your office is to have your vision board. Here I have a vision board for this year, 2021, as well as I have my weekly calendar on the wall. Something that you can do, and at the angle that I have this is right across from my desk. So when I'm sitting at the desk, I can actually look at my wall and look at all this good energy up here of things that I'm setting goals for and being able to reach them, God willing. The last thing that I want to show is the bookshelf. On the bookshelf, there are books that are interests that I have in certain specific areas. So you can categorize your books with different subject topics, and or color code them, however it is, wherever you're interested in. Now I've got a little bit more going on my shelf than usual, but you can have like just minimal things that are out, and then you can put your other things inside of your things like this here, your boxes, your baskets, and whatnot. All right, well, I hope that this was helpful. Just talking about a little office space, things that you can do to make it where you come in and you feel good, the energy's good, and you can actually get some work done. Thank you for joining me, and we look forward to talking to you some more about some good things about good home goods, making your home your sanctuary.
Well, now that we've talked about all the beautiful places of the home, let's now talk about lighting. Lighting often seems to be something that, we kind of take for granted because, of course, we have it. And it's so often that we are able to turn that light switch on and have light, where previously in, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, we used to have light by way of candles. And so because we don't have that anymore, let's not take it for granted that lighting is important. So some say that lighting can impact your mood, your alertness, and aware of your surroundings. So when we start thinking about lighting, we want to think about what season it is, the tasks that we're doing regarding the lighting, and the mood that we want to evoke. So we know that there's overhead lighting, under the cabinet lighting in the kitchen, we have floor lamps and table lamps and things like that. And so when we think about lighting, we want to definitely also make sure that we have the right light bulbs in place, the right shade in place, as well as the right location of that lamp. And so when we also think about lighting, we're thinking about these moods that we want to create in different spaces of our homes. So definitely don't want to create any moods that are super if you're trying to create a space where there's relaxation, you don't want super bright lights. But also, when you are working, you do want super bright lights. So that's why you'll often see bright lights in the kitchen or in an office space. And so when you're thinking about lampshades, remember a darker shade is one that kind of promotes relaxation, and lighter shades are more translucent and they allow for more light to filter through. So thinking about that when you're choosing the right shade, and again for the right area. And candles, although we're not using those to light our entire space anymore, we are using them to bring up mood. And sometimes candle just has the same flicker as it would if you had a cozy fire. And so for those who don't have fireplaces, think about maybe setting up a line of candles in your home, which would also evoke a beautiful mood for you and your family. Something else to think about in terms of lighting is tasks that you're doing. If you need a reading lamp, if you have a special area in your home and you want to read, make sure you have a reading lamp which goes directly over you as you are reading so that it illuminates the words and you're not straining your eyes as much. Then we also have dimmer lights. Dimmer switch are still very important, especially when you have that nice romantic dinner. You want to make sure that the light is a little bit lower for that mood, again, we talked about. And then making sure that you're investing in the LED lights that we have now. They're a little bit more expensive, but definitely they're going to last you a much longer period of time. And that's something to think about economically as well. And also color changing bulbs. I know a lot of young people have these color changing bulbs in their rooms, in their bedrooms, where they can turn it on, the lights switch on and off, and they turn all these different colors. But remember also that this also helps to set the mood, and that when you're falling into the fall and or the winter months, we need to really make sure that we're illuminating our homes with much brighter light because it's darker outside, and the period of light that we have outside is a little bit shorter in the fall and in the winter months. And then as the summer comes, we want to kind of make sure that we're not using too bright of a light because, of course, we know that the sun is out much longer, but using darker shades in the summertime and in the spring as the light begins to kind of fill the space during the day much longer. So I hope those are some great tips that you learned about lighting, and we hope to see you on the other side lit up. All right, now that we have talked about spaces, lighting, now we want to go into scents. Now, when we think about scents, of course, this is a part of the five senses that we have as human beings, and we know how important our nose is when we walk into a space. And having those beautiful scents in your home not only creates mood, it creates memories, so that every time you hear or smell those specific scents, it evokes a memory that you have. And you definitely want to make sure that as people are coming into your space, whether it's your own family, your friends, or whomever, that they have great memories of your space at home. And so, a couple of things, we just want to kind of talk about a couple of scents that you can make. All natural scented stovetop potpourri. One of the ways to make that would be to cut up some onions, cut up some rosemary, and some cinnamon sticks, and just boil that in the water. And as you're boiling that, those scents will begin to kind of permeate throughout the house, kind of similar to when you're cooking. You start smelling all of those scents also in the home. Another scent that you can make is lilac spray. Of course, taking lilac, putting it into a jar, and basically, spraying it wherever you may need it. And so instead of actually having these scents that we kind of plug in. I know that I've used plugins for such a long time, but studies have shown that when you're using too many scents on a regular basis, sometimes you can get into the habit, and basically you can have headaches and things like that. So I know some people are sensitive to scents, but if you like lilacs, definitely think about getting those fresh lilacs inside of a bottle. And a way that you would do that is getting water, vodka, and lilac fragrance oil, and pouring it into a bottle, and then, of course, spraying it as needed. You're going to add about 12 drops of lilac oil to 50-50 ratio of water to vodka, and then spray that anytime you need that nice, beautiful scent in your home. Some other scents that we want to kind of talk about is using rosemary is always a good scent that you can use regularly. And often rosemary is used with, cranberries and cinnamon sticks and oranges during the holiday season. So people have those memories of what that smells like. But you can also make your own jasmine air spray, which is kind of similar to, the lilac oil, where you're taking the jasmine oil, essential oil, adding it to water, and putting that also in the spray. And just making sure that as you're using these sprays and these scents, that people in your home are not allergic to them. Because let me tell you, just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not there. But once you start putting scents in the home, they attach themselves to fabrics and carpet and bedding and things like that. And so if anyone is allergic to it, you're definitely going to have some issues until you actually, wash those sheets and clean that carpet in order for them to kind of get away from that. Another thing that you can do to make floral herbs perfume is to put fresh herbs inside of a sprayer and then begin to add water and spray that as well. And that's something else you want to think about having around your home. Another homemade vanilla perfume, you can make those things. Homemade air fresheners and diffusers, you can always get those in the stores, or again, making them yourselves. A lot of these scents, again, are so super, super easy to make. Something else to think about is changing the energy inside of your home by using what some people, they really don't like it, um, but burning incense is very, very important, and sage. Burning sage can change the energy in your home, and some people, I said it that sage kind of smells unpleasant, but we know that it definitely smells better than some other scents that we've had before. So just thinking about that, and always using citrus to kind of also permeate the room and those spaces when you have super, super hard smells. So I would definitely recommend using oranges and cinnamon inside of a bottle or inside of a sprayer, again with water, especially using it maybe for a bathroom spray whenever you're thinking about changing those scents. So hopefully you'll be able to, you can always find some of these ideas online, DIY your own home fragrances, seeing how to make those things, and just making sure that you leave your home smelling perfect, with the perfect lighting and the perfect atmosphere, and making your home a sanctuary.